Jin Woo went to an S rank dungeon and nearly died. That was one hell of not even the full thing. We took down Cerberus, and Cerberus took us down a few times. But I appreciate our boy being like, hey man, I'll catch you another time. It's one hell of a reward, and if it really works to the degree it's saying, we can cure his mom with an elixir of life. Cures all diseases. Incredible. Insane. But I mean, we assume he's probably in the B rank area. That's at least what Jin-Ho was thinking in terms of looking at his capabilities. But the thing is, he did have a teleport out. He had a way to get out of this whole situation that he saved from the previous dungeon. Unfortunately, we end up dropping it when we're trying to use it, and he's forced to, well, just go absolutely ballistic. And we take down Cerberus. We take down the pooch, the little guardian of the demon's castle here. And there's 3 things we need to collect from said castle if we want to craft the elixir of life. And that is going to be insane because he says, not today, bro. And I appreciate it. The guy's a little crazy at this point, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, everything he's gone through. But this was an absolutely insane episode that I wasn't expecting to be insane because as I always say, I don't watch the show for the action like some people claim everyone who likes solo leveling does. The first half of this episode, just as exciting to me as anything in the second half. They're just 2 different types of excitement. I love the menu stuff. I love learning about, oh, if he doubles and does twice as much of any one little stat that they're trying to do, so 10 push-ups, do 20. That's where it caps out. Get these bonus quests, hidden items that will pop up. I love all that stuff. I love seeing Jin-Ho basically try to say, hey bro, I need 19 more dungeons, I'm crafting a team, I'm trying to be a guild master. All that stuff is incredible, just as much as the insane Cerberus boss fight. This show is awesome. Top to bottom, hands down, one of the best shows we are going to watch this year. Now I do have a full live reaction to today's wonderful soul leveling episode over on my Patreon, so if you want to see my full uncut thoughts, they're over there if you're interested. I do want to quickly share probably one of the funniest comments I've ever gotten on my channel in the history of me having a YouTube channel. So last week I got this incredibly intelligent individual who I've cracked the code on why solo leveling has haters. It's because some people can't read. I unironically got this comment where someone says, how are we supposed to pay attention when basically it doesn't matter this or that because I'm too busy reading. When you can so boldly admit that you can't pay attention to something if you have to read subtitles, that might be one of the best cell phones I've ever seen in my entire life of doing YouTube. But holy hell, man, we've cracked the code. Solo leveling, it sucks because apparently you have to read subtitles. Why do the Japanese voice actors even try? But jokes aside, this was another banger episode. So first things first, let's talk about the main attraction that most people want to hear. That is the Cerberus boss fight. The key immediately looked like Satan's door. Thing looked demonic, thing looked insane. S rank level dungeon, we go into this bad boy and we're met with the hounds of death, and they were insane, man. Lucky for us, it wasn't like the spider where every little attack we didn't even cut it. There was only a certain spot we could attack. No, we could slice anywhere. It just did hardly anything. And there's just so many brutal shots. Like when you hear A rank or S rank or something that feels like, oh, that should pretty much one-shot you or come close to doing so, this show makes me feel like the threats and the scale of what we're fighting actually match the power. I think if you look at him when he was going into his first dungeon alone, and the creatures he was fighting, they were small in comparison to any of the bosses that he's gone up against. And when they attack versus what these things attack like, he gets tossed. When he gets bit by a giant hound of hell, you feel like his arm's ripping off. Hell, at one point I thought his arm was completely, I don't know if it was just dangling because it was so broken. It's a good thing he has some full recoveries because otherwise he'd be shit out of luck. That's all I'm saying. But every time I would see these attacks and I'd see he has like 3,600 health in this fight. Every one of these attacks was doing like 500, 600 health. Sometimes it was 1,000. And I'm like, there's no way in hell he's winning. I fully expected a retreat. 100%. There was no way he was going to win. He does have some good buffs, like, you know, in terms of he was getting a lot of stabs in and obviously paralysis, draining health, different little stats that can stack and everything. But when you drop your get out of jail free card and he's hiding behind a wall, buying anything he can from the store, couple of healing potions isn't going to turn the tide. And the idea that Early into the episode, we learn about his detox, which basically means in normal life, he can't get drunk, which is what it is. Some people would probably just jump off a bridge right then and there. I have a few in my comments section who probably will pop up about that one. I love the fact that they established this detox, and even though I knew it was a thing, I didn't trust that potion. It's basically like, hey, you're gonna be like 20% more durable, but 35% less strong permanently. And I'm like, nope. He is a bigger gambler than me. Granted, you can probably argue the fact that, well, if he didn't drink it, he probably would have died anyway, so negative 35% for life if he lives. I mean, that's worth the gamble if it doesn't detox it. Lucky for him, he basically gets like thicker armor in terms of his skin, so it's 20% more durable, and he got to basically detox the penalty out of his system. Very lucky, but bigger gambler than I. I would not have drunk that. That's just me anyway. And honestly, the animation when he goes just completely balls to the wall is insane. I love how the fact that there's at no point during this fight did I think, oh man, he's better or bigger or stronger than this boss. I really thought it came down to skill, luck, and honestly just perseverance. Just the idea of not giving up and he was cornered animal, raging and doing everything he could in his power to take down something that meant him harm. And honestly, the difference between this fight and the snake fight, it doesn't just feel like he's mindlessly slashing at a big beast and the big beast is mindlessly attacking. When you look at the attack patterns of that snake and you look at the attack patterns of a three-headed mutt, completely different animation and production style. The flames, the buildings crumbling in the background, just so good top to bottom. But honestly, man, like just that victory and him just, holy hell. Literally early into the episode, the sister's complimenting him. Damn, you had a big payday. You must have had a really good team because you came back pretty much not wounded at all. And then we end this episode with him just bleeding out. Yeah, he gets the recovery, like he doesn't have holes in him anymore, but I thought he was going for it. I thought he was right then and there going to go into that cast, and I'm like, don't do it, bro. But like I said, this show's more than just the cool action. The idea of like these two friends kind of growing. Like, I feel like Jin Woo doesn't want to be friends with Jin-Oh, but at the same time, Jin-Ho just feels like such a likable guy that I'm really hoping he just like will join up with him and work with him, because we have a bit of a target painted on our back. So the brother of the guy who I guess was the leader of the whole group that tried to kill us, he wants to kill us. He wants to kill these two guys, pretty much saying that they were murdered, and it's a damn good thing that his schedule is full for the foreseeable future, because his murderous revenge had to be scheduled in for another day, and he hopes they're still alive. And I'm like, that is the coldest line ever. I don't think you're gonna be able to kill our main character, but you know, our new friend-to-be might be a different story. But holy shit, man, I like what they're doing, and I think my favorite part is how people are noticing that things are a little weird. Because initially the idea of like, why are you so concerned about a couple of low-rank adventurers surviving? People die all the time, they probably ran for their life. Yeah, but the boss is dead. Okay, that starts to get a little more weird, but he has really expensive items. That could have, you know, compensated. Okay, but the person that we just interviewed about the whole instance with the crazy ass dungeon, same guy. Now you're starting to make me a little concerned. And if he does get an elixir of life and cures his mother, who doesn't seem to be able to be cured in terms of the medicine of their world, like that's probably her life for the rest of her life. If they start pointing out these types of things like, oh, the kid who's been in two really weird dungeons that don't make sense on how he survived, now somehow his mother is magically cured of something that doctors couldn't do. And oh, the brother of, you know, the dude who died in one of his dungeons also now is dead, or maybe is targeting. You know, there's a lot of things that are going to be like, they're going to start connecting the dots a lot more, and I'm interested to see how his life's going to change. Obviously, the weight of killing is still on his mind, and you can see how different his personality is and how quickly he's able to adjust with that. I just don't even know what he's going to be like when it comes to like 100 chapters in the source material later for a character like this, and how different and how you won't even think he was the same guy as the start. But great episode nonetheless. We do have a recap next week, so I'll be back in 2 weeks for the channel videos, but it's going to be good. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more, and like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we have So Logiki, Subject 3, Yora Luca, Rolia, Sarnik, and Destiny Richard. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.